I have a bit of a treat for you today, especially if you are on the other side of the Atlantic to me, over in the USA or thereabouts. I have a very special guest with me today who I want to introduce you to. And this is all about some new events that are going on in the world around glamping, and it's incredibly exciting to see this industry develop in the way that it is. So there are very few live events in glamping, in the glamping industry, and in unique accommodation in my diary as well. It's very hard to find people that we can speak to who know what we're talking about without us having to explain what we're talking about. And it's just so refreshing when we can go to an event and we can talk about our struggles, we can talk about what we're trying to do, finding customers, making them as happy as possible, and trying to do that in the least amount of time. And it's amazing when we find people who really get where we're coming from and who really understand that without us having to really explain it in any great depth, because they're going through it too. And so there are so few times in the year when we can actually get together with our peers and those who have had staggering success in this market and speak to them about what really worked for them and maybe learn from those stories. So this is exactly why I have moved heaven and earth myself to travel across the world to go to, I went to Denver at the beginning of the year in April, and I'm about to fly off to California again, second time in a month, can't quite believe that, to attend the only glamping specific event in the world, which is a worldwide Global Glamping Summit. And it's taking place in California this month, at the end of this month. So I attended the summit in April in Denver, and I was just amazed by the number of relationships that were developed at the event. Relationships that I managed to develop and others that I saw doing exactly the same. And it was just a really amazing experience to be able to mix with people that had the same interests, had the same needs, wants and desires of what they wanted for their own business. And so I know that it's not easy for everyone to go all the way to California, but some people might actually be in that area. And so it might be something that you would want to put into your own diary, because there are so many things that can be gained from attending an event like this, where everyone is on the same page and everyone understands everything about the industry, what works and what doesn't, and is sharing new trends, sharing new information and sharing knowledge with the idea of becoming more successful in what we do. So I'm very pleased that I have got Laura Golding from Swan Events, who has come here today, and I'm hoping very much that I'm going to be able to get her on screen without any problems. And Laura is, hey, there you are, Laura, you are on screen. Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. Now, I'm sure that people have noticed immediately that you have a British accent. So how in the world did a UK company end up running the Global Glamping Summit and specifically running events in the USA?
So part of our family here in the UK is the Glamping Show. We run the Glamping Show, which is a 3-day event in the UK every September, welcoming thousands of people. It's really part of everything that we know. We also, as part of our family, have the International Glamping Business magazine. And it was really through the magazine, through the website, through social media, we were witnessing the growing interest in glamping in the USA. And talking to our media partners, Inspired Courses, Inspired Camping and Glamping Hub, it was agreed that now was the right time. And given our knowledge and contacts, we were qualified to organise it. So we came to Denver this year, just gone, in April, to run our very first Global Glamping Summit. And it was a 2-day event. It was really successful, and it was clear that there was appetite for more. So that's why we're coming this month to California to do the second Global Glamping Summit.
Oh yeah, brilliant. I was there at the event earlier this year and hobbling around with my bad ankle because I had a major problem the day before I stepped on the plane. But it was really quite an amazing event. The buzz in the room was just astounding, really, as people were moving from room to room, going from workshop to workshop, and finding out new things as they went. And you could just hear it in the buzz, in how people were talking and how motivated they were, that it really was creating, a lot of talk in the industry and amongst attendees. And so many people who I'd actually mentioned that the event was going ahead to earlier in the year, and they'd actually come up to me and thanked me for letting them know it was going ahead and that they could be involved in it. And so brilliant. It was really great to see that kind of reaction to people who were there. But are there any specific takeaways of things that have happened as a result of the event?
Well, I think firstly, just following on from what you said, I think one of the things that I think most people took away was this excitement and enthusiasm to go home and implement something or take action, whether they are someone who is about to start out or an existing site owner. It was that real inspiration and buzz. And as you say, and something that I've observed as well, it can be quite isolating for many site owners who are physically very remote in the middle of nowhere, and also who a lot of glamp sites are family owned. So you really have your nearest and dearest to bounce ideas off, but you don't really have anyone else to talk to apart from your guests who are going to give you feedback. But it's also really good to get feedback and a nod of approval or a nod from other peers to say, I'm going through this as well, and this is challenging for me too. So that's definitely something that people left. They left feeling happy, content, but also inspired to go and take action. One interesting takeaway that we had observed from the summit was size. So as they say in many places, bigger is better in America. And that was definitely something that was echoed by one of our speakers. We had someone from Mexico who runs a big resort called Playa Viva, and his name is David Levinthal. And he was saying that he set up Playa Viva with just 5 rooms, and this was in the middle of the recession. Mexico was in the grip of swine flu, and he decided to open 5 units. And he passed on his advice to say anyone starting out should think bigger and go for more. And I think that's a really interesting insight to hear from someone. It's all relative. What's big for one may not be big for another, but that was definitely a theme that ran through the event in April. Another thing that we saw and we took away from Denver was a preview of a global certification scheme, the World of Glamping, which is the brainchild of Maya Dimnik of GlamPro. And the scheme aims to classify glamping into 3 different streams, which should, as a result, increase clarity for travellers, as well as offering advice to operators on how to improve standards and concentrate their efforts on things that travellers are looking for. Of course, it depends on the kind of travellers you want to attract. And again, another theme that ran through the summit and I think was really important, and I think everyone agrees on, is that the consumer and the traveller is just smarter. They have access to information quicker, they're able to make decisions quickly, and they're able to make reviews quickly and release the good and bad quickly. So it's also keeping up with the millennial consumer. So that was another thing that created more content for us this coming month, because it's given us more topics to think about and more issues that we want to address as a group.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. I mean, a couple of the things that you mentioned there are absolutely on point about how everything is changing now. Everything is changing in terms of tourism and how the tourist is finding their holiday, and what we need to do as providers to be able to make those connections with those people that are booking their holidays, to make sure that we're matching them up with the services that we have to offer to get those guests that we need. And I think that Maya's program that she's working on, the World of Glamping, is fantastic. I've spoken to Maya a lot and hope to get her in this group soon as well, about what she's doing to bring this brilliant standard in, to make sure that we are keeping the industry of high quality and high demand, and keep its longevity into the future and keeping it strong for the future. And yeah, I mean, a conversation that I was in with someone at the show, and they were just talking about how they'd never even thought about what had been discussed in the workshop they'd just attended, and it really helped them adjust their thinking and think about things differently, and think about things in terms of what's actually happening in the industry that they knew nothing about. And so not only was it for them an event that was great to go to get support, but also to really understand the direction things are moving in, which this industry is shifting and changing beyond belief at the moment. The whole industry, holiday rental industry, is changing. And so to be able to go to an event like this, where we can speak to people who are going through the same and learn from them, is just so valuable. So it's happening in California, Long Beach. So I was recently in Laguna Beach, which is a bit further down. But Long Beach, I hear, is very nice. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. And so what can people expect specifically from the event in California?
Right, so I'll break it down into the very basics. It's taking place on Tuesday, November the 27th. to Wednesday, November the 28th. It's at the West Inn in Long Beach, and it's a 2-day conference, and we want 2 days to be able to encompass both the networking aspect and interaction, but also pack in a whole lot of learning. And we're also going to be having a host of manufacturers there to really show you what's on offer, but also we've been able to get ourselves a location where some manufacturers can actually bring full-size structures to be able to interact with. We also decided to split the agenda into 2 separate sections for good parts of the day. The first one being exploration and creation, and that's really targeted at those who are looking to set up a glamping business. They may need tips, solid advice, or even just that last bit of inspiration to give them the confidence to take that first step. Topics such as, how do I know that I'm going to be fully booked? How do I know what kind of glamping structure is right for me and my business? And lots more. The second branch is aimed at existing business owners, glamping business owners, and we're calling it the growth and innovation section. How do I, as an existing site owner, retain happy guests? How do I get those happy guests to then do my marketing for me and tell other people how they can become happy guests? Have I thought about diversifying my business, welcoming events onto my site? What are the new and innovative products out there? And so on and so on. We've also got an engaging panel that we're going to be hosting on, and it's something I feel personally passionate about, is the use of Wi-Fi and how technology plays a part in glamping, enabling or creating a barrier to the guests being able to disconnect from the world that they're in and their hustle and bustle of daily life. Where do you as an owner want to brand yourself when it comes to Wi-Fi? It's something that was vocalized quite a bit in Denver, and I think it's something that needs to be discussed. It's a debate, and I've already heard differing opinions about it.
Yeah.
And I think it's really interesting, and I think it's going to be something that becomes more and more of an issue as, again, the millennial travelers become the ones who are going to be really interested in going glamping. Where do we place ourselves with technology and glamping? We're also going to have Debbie Sipe. Debbie Sipe is the CEO of the California Association of RV Parks and Campgrounds. She's coming in to give the regulatory updates, the real meaty stuff that everyone needs to be aware of, whether you're looking to get into glamping or a refresher and a real sort of, a good old refresher for those who already have sites. We're also actually going to be hearing for the first time from the American Glamping Association and how owners and consumers will be able to benefit from becoming members.
That's brilliant. All of that, particularly the Wi-Fi thing. Yeah, absolutely. What a debate, a big heated debate as well, because there's a little bit of friction there between what the supplier wants to supply and the guest wants to have. And there's so many different opinions. And yeah, regulations. So many things coming in. Different parts of America as well, having these big regulations coming in, which are making such big changes to the vacation rental industry. And, the impact that that's having on businesses is extraordinary. People are having to completely change what they're doing. So it's really, really useful stuff to get people in who really know their stuff around those areas to share that information so people know where they need to go next. So, I mean, that all sounds brilliant. It's making me very excited about coming along and being part of it. And so one impact story that I wanted to share just a little bit about from when I went before, another reason why I'm so excited about going again, was because I met Sarah Dusek. She is the founder jointly with her husband, of Under Canvas. And Under Canvas is a massive company in America, as we know, but started small. And I often speak to people in this industry or coming into the industry, and they talk about, I haven't got land, I haven't got the finance, I haven't got this, I haven't got that. How am I going to be able to do this? I have this passion. I want to produce something. I want to deliver something, but I don't have those resources. And so those success stories you hear from people like Sarah, who launched in 2009, so not that long ago. She only had $40,000. That's it. She leased land, so she had no land of her own, and now her expected revenue is 9 million. 9 million. She has 60 full-time staff and 150 seasonal employees, and she's aiming for 100 million in revenue, which is staggering if you think about where she came from in the first place. And so her business model is a really interesting one. And so going to the event, the last event, and she is going to be at the California event again. It was just, to go through the business model, to speak to her about it, to talk about, what she feels is one of the reasons for her success, and what she feels hasn't been so great. Just all very interesting stuff, and things that we can all learn from. And so that was one of my big impact stories. I don't know if you've got an impact story that you could share.
I actually have a small story from an attendee of the Denver Summit, and she gave me some feedback, and it really, I really wanted to pass it on, because it just goes to show that sometimes you can take away small things, and then when you put them all together, it does make a big impact. So we had someone attend called Mackenzie O'Donnell. She owns a site in California called Mendocino Magic, and I'll just read it. I've got it right in front of me. She said, "I was so happy with my experience attending the Glamping Summit in Denver, and I eagerly look forward to seeing my new friends at the next summit. There were hundreds of people from different walks of the glamping game, and I enjoyed meeting and learning from each of them. Besides numerous interactions and between and during sessions in this growing network, I enjoyed meeting and sharing stories with other landowners who were new to this industry. My favourite takeaway was the points given by Honey Trek, who are travel bloggers, who gave many insights towards in what they look for in a glamping getaway, easy tips and small improvements and amenities in your glamp site, which will truly make a difference, which can sometimes be overlooked without having an outsider's fresh perspective. And utilising my network through the summit offered me opportunities to improve my space with minimal effort.
Absolutely.
And I thought that was a really nice sort of summary of what she gained. Sometimes it's nice to hear from people outside the industry as a guest and what the guest might look for and what a guest might take away. And that just really sat with me because she was so excited by the information that she took back with her. She's coming again this month. So we were really happy to hear that.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, I know personally how much I grow after attending these live events. I know how much it means to me and my own business. And so that's why I don't think twice about inviting you on to talk to this group about what they can stand to benefit if they decide to come along as well. But I understand that you're going to offer the group something to make it even easier for them.
Yeah, so I think it's really important, especially in a young market like glamping that's growing so fast, to have a group that supports each other, that shares tips and advice and really gives each other a bit of a cheer on. I think it's a really difficult industry at times physically, and it's really great to have a sounding board and to have a place to be able to vent and really just ask some of the simpler questions and the more tricky questions. And I just think it's so valuable. And we'd love to offer the group a 20% discount on attendee fees, and all you need to do is input the code ICVIP at checkout. I'll put all the details again down below. But yeah, we really wanted to offer that, and we really hope to see as many of you as possible in a few weeks in California.
Brilliant. Yes, me too, because I'll be there. If anyone's watching, please do a thumbs up and a heart and say thank you very much to Laura and the Swan Events team. Even if you're not going to come along, even if you're not going to be able to make it to California at the end of this month, it's amazing that you've come in and you've offered that. And I'd also like to make an equal offer because I'm going along to the event. I'd love to see some people from this group attend, and I'd love to put out there that anyone who attends from this group is able to access a spot, so one spot of glamping business consult with me, where I will be able to speak to them directly about what they're going through with their setup and growth issues and concerns or barriers, how to attract more guests and to get repeat bookings, and also how to maximize their profits. So this is a super focused, action orientated session for a couple of hours where we talk just about your business, and I'm only offering one, but anyone from this group who is going will be able to go and find a quiet corner somewhere and sit and really talk about exactly what it is you need for your business. And so if you decide to take Laura up on this offer and use the discount code, which I'll repeat, which is ICVIP, and we'll put the details of how you can access that. You just go to www.theglampingsummit.com, and when you go to check, when you buy the tickets, you go to checkout, you put in the code, and that gives you a whopping 20% off. Fantastic. And then, yes, I'll be giving you extra information in here about how you can access your glamping business consult. So thank you so much, Laura. That's just amazing. I can't wait to be with you in California. We're going to have so much fun.
Some sunshine.
Absolutely. Woo. And yeah, so, thank you on behalf of the entire group for, it's giving us your time today. And thank you also to Swan Events for giving this group a discount, which, I know that is a big, bold thing that you've done, and that thank you so much indeed on behalf of all of us. So yeah, and I hope you've enjoyed this, everyone. Please give Laura and Swan Events a thumbs up, and if there are any comments, because I can't see the comments, but if any comments have come in, then we will make sure that we answer them afterwards. So if there's any information that you need about where you want to go, what you need to do, how to book things, anything, just ask away and we'll answer that after this session. So thank you so much, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.